Hi, this is Joshua Schmidt coming back to you for episode 11 of our Spiritual Sunday series on the Nerd Assassin podcast. Today we're looking at Ecclesiastes chapter 11, starting with verse 1. Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it again. Give portions to 7, yes to 8, for you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. I find verse 2 interesting. The writer's kind of going over what the old school version of diversifying your portfolio, putting yourself in a lot of risk, putting all your eggs in one basket compared to spreading it around. So they say if disaster may come upon the land, you're still safe and protected. Sort of like now, if I were to invest all my money in a single company, you'll never know what could happen to it. Whereas if I'm spread across in something like a market fund where everything's diversified, then even if one company goes bad, I still am leveling off those losses with some of the other ones. Verse 3, if clouds are full of water, they pour rain upon the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there will it lie. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. As you do not know the path of the wind, or how the body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. When I think of this, it reminds me of trying to plan and wait for that perfect time. You're never going to have that perfect time in your life because you're never going to know all of these different factors and understand all of God's creation to be able to plan stuff out for just that right time to do something. Verse 6, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let not your hands be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. I'm thinking of this still through this financial lens, the whole first half of this chapter, and recorded. There's a concept called dollar cost averaging in investing, which basically means I'm going to invest the same amount of money every month, whether it's up or down, no matter what's going on. That's what I think of sow your seed in the morning, is just every morning, every month, you're just kind of doing the same thing. And then also at the same time in the evening, don't let your hands be idle. So you're also, besides planting your seed all the rest of the time, which I think of as investing, sowing your seed, all the rest of the time, you're also not just sitting on your hands. You have your main job that you're doing while the rest of your money's working for you. And they say, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that. So one of them might be your big winner and the other one might not. You might have a bad crop, you might have a bad return. But sometimes maybe even both will do equally well. So I think right here, the way that I'm reading this is invest every day, save some for yourself, and then also work hard to generate more wealth. Verse 7, light is sweet, and it pleases the eyes to see the sun. However many years a man may live, let him enjoy them all, but let him remember the days of darkness, for they will be many. Everything to come is meaningless. So here I'm just reading, enjoy your days on this earth, light or shine. You're not going to be around forever, so even though the sun is really like, some of your best days are when it's happy, also remember the days of darkness, because there's going to be many of those too, and you only have so many days on the earth. Verse 9, be happy, young man, while you are young, and let your heart give you joy in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart and whatever your eyes see, but know that for all things God will bring you to judgment. So I'm just, live your life, go ahead and explore and try a lot of things, but also remember to be a God-fearing man while you're doing it. In verse 10, so then banish anxiety from your heart and cast off the troubles of your body, for youth and vigor are meaningless. So while you're trying all this out, you're youthful right now. You can make mistakes. Go ahead, get rid of that anxiety. You have all this life. Youth and vigor isn't the time where you have to go and make everything perfectly, because your youth is meaningless. You're going to have old days. You're going to have sunny days, dark days. This is a relatively short chapter here in Ecclesiastes 11. Next week we'll go through chapter 12, where we'll finally get what the author calls a conclusion to the matter of what to do with life when you live in this meaningless world. If you guys want to continue the conversation, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn at the Nerd Assassin. Thanks and have a nice day, guys.